covering recruiting and the transfer portal for the Razorbacks. This is Inside Arkansas Recruiting with Dudley Dawson.
And welcome into Inside Arkansas Recruiting Podcast. Curtis Wilkerson and Dudley Dawson with Inside Arkansas here with you because the Razorbacks have another portal pop. The second running back in as many days, Michigan running back Jasper Parker announces his transfer to the Razorbacks, joining Sutton Smith in the portal hall for the Hogs, alongside Braylon Russell, Cam Settles, and some others there. Dudley, what do you make of Arkansas's latest addition from the portal?
Had a chance to catch up with him and talk a little bit with him yesterday. He was excited to be here, excited to have a new opportunity. As you said, he's from Michigan. There's been a little stuff going on there lately. So he was looking for a fresh start. They got him in here. He's a young man who had offers from Alabama, A&M, North Carolina, a ton of other places. I mean, this is of the people that are going to be in this room, he was the most highly recruited. And he had 25 carries for 93 yards last year. Scored 2 touchdowns, 6 foot 205, and I had a chance to watch him play in high school actually when he was playing Archbishop Shaw. Just how you watch TV and you see high school games and you kind of clue in, and I thought he was really exceptional. And so I'm looking. This is an under the radar thing that happened real quick that I think is. I'm not going to say it's the best portal pickup so far, but it's up there.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because I understand, like people can look at the raw stats and go, well, yeah, he didn't do too much. How excited are we supposed to be about this? But I did a little bit of research on him. I guess when his name popped up a couple of days ago, and some of the things I saw were like some of the comments that came out about him early in the season from camp, from his teammates, from some of his coaches. And to your point, they seemed really excited about the potential there. So, yeah, I do think this is an interesting one for the Razorbacks. I was kind of wondering yesterday, we went live and talked about Sutton Smith, the Memphis running back, coming over and joining the program. And our conversation at the time was, okay, so Braylon Russell coming back, Sutton Smith added to the fold. You got some young guys coming in, Hodges, Cam Settles, who is here. And we just kind of wondered, well, are they done, though, at running back, or are they going to add to this thing? And if they do, what is it going to look like? I kind of thought you could go one of two ways, like maybe a G5 guy, along the lines of what you did with Mike Washington, not exactly like Mike Washington, but you get my drift. Or maybe a guy at a bigger school who needed a fresh start with a lot of potential and some pedigree there. And it looks like that's the move that they made here. And now I'm guessing they're probably going to be done at running back.
Yeah, you better go get somebody to block for them now. And I'm going, we're going to touch on it obviously, but this portal was defined this morning, I guess, when Karis Kern decided to sign with Ole Miss. That was going to set the narrative. Could you come in here and do this, do that? It's hard to go up against a school that's in the has a lot of money. We know they have a lot of money. We think Arkansas has more money, but we know Ole Miss has a lot of money. Pete Golding, got Frank Wilson on his staff down there, and they did a good job in wrapping him up going against a team that, let's be honest, 2-10 last year. It's not, you may want to play for your school, your state, but again, as from being from Northeast Arkansas like me, Marion's a lot closer to Memphis than it is to Fayetteville. So I get the whole thing, but yeah, that's going to set the narrative. So anything else that comes after that is, there's going to be fans who just say, screw it,
Yeah, I know that's the tough one about this. And like, there's been a growing number of, some guys that Arkansas was involved with early, like right out of the gates. You saw, like defensive linemen from Florida State. You got really excited about. Don't wind up getting those guys. Okay, well, what's next? And you get really excited about the linebacker from North Carolina, Kamori House, who he's on his visit, and I guess he hasn't committed elsewhere yet. But whenever you were in the portal and you leave your first visit and you start taking your other ones, you start thinking, all right, well, where's this headed? They take the linebacker from Howard yesterday, So some of those things make you wonder, like, all right, well, what were the priorities here? Who are they going to wind up getting? But you're 100% right. The very moment that Kern hit the portal, we kind of set that as the barometer for Arkansas and what this thing is going to look like. We've heard that there have been more resources put into the program. I'm sure that's true to a degree, but what is the level of it? And that just felt like a guy who home state, missed on him once, get him back in here the second time around. And it shows that you're serious about what's going on, especially with who you're recruiting against to try and get him. And, right away, once you started seeing those lists come out for carries, it's like, all right, Visiting Georgia, well, that's tough because it feels like if they really want an offensive lineman, they're probably going to get him, whether he's from Arkansas or not. Then when that visit doesn't go through, I'm with you, man. As soon as I saw Ole Miss and I considered where he was from, where we were from, like you're talking about there, that one felt a little bit dicey. And to not even be able to get him on campus is a tough one. I don't know exactly where they go from here on the offensive line. I'm sure you have a better idea about that than me, but yeah, they've still got plenty of work to do here. Happy that they're filling some spots in the running back room. Happy that they're filling some spots in general. They're going to have to go get 30 some odd guys or whatever. Not every one of them is going to be a home run out there. You got to have the singles and doubles too. But you need to start mixing in some of the big fish here to drum up some more excitement, some more momentum, and get this thing rolling.
Where will they go now? Frank Mubinga is whose brother, Paul Mubinga, whose brother is here, signed with Arkansas. They're visiting today. He was here yesterday, still early today. I expect we'll hear something from them pretty quick. I think that that's another LSU lineman, obviously, that was there last year. I knew that paperwork thing down at Ole Miss was going to be a deal, and he didn't get to leave. And he's not a guy who goes on and does a lot on social media, doesn't do a lot of interviews. He wasn't that way when he was, in high school, and certainly is not now. I was talking to my sources around there, and even they were getting screwed up because, you get agents and coaches and all that involved. But when he did not go to Georgia, and he was supposed to come to Arkansas the next day after he went to Georgia, when that didn't happen, I always look at my new puppy over here and talk about his shenanigans and all that. I knew there was some shenanigans going on. And again, it's hard to go against what Ole Miss has right now.
Yep. That's the unfortunate truth in the matter. Sometimes what's the truth is not what we want to hear. I want to get Andrew Ellis in here. It looks like he's going to join us. I'm sure he's got a couple takes to fire off. Andrew, we've been talking about two things here. The second addition in as many days to the running back room. What are your thoughts on, and what do you know about Jasper Parker from Michigan? And then after that, we obviously need your take on Karius Kern headed to Ole Miss.
Well, in terms of Jasper Parker, not a ton on the resume. I do appreciate having a Louisiana boy, coming to Fayetteville. Always like having as many boot hogs as we can get up here. So I'm welcome all. And we talked about the running back position yesterday, and we were all kind of on that fence of like, are they done at running back? Do they need another guy? Is there some magical 1,000-yard back just sitting there waiting? I don't know if that is necessarily what this is, but this is depth. This is another guy that can, we even talked about the body types where we were like, Braylon Russell's 235, 240, and then Sutton Smith's 185. Could you maybe get someone in between there? Seems like that's exactly what they got there. And so I feel good about the running back position. I'm not blown away by the running back position, but I do think that is enough now. You have enough guys. You can get through SEC games. We'll see if the freshman TJ Hodges is going to factor into that mix. But if you're getting something out of him, then all of a sudden you're in pretty good shape. For me personally, I look at some of these other needs on the team, like defensive line, like secondary, and now I'm like, hey, let's just go address that. You've shored up your running back position. O-line still going to need, you still need to go out and get 2 starters. So we'll see what that looks like. But now they can kind of spend these next 10 days or whatever focusing on what they really need to focus on, which is some of these glaring holes. You need to go out and find starters at positions. You need to go out and fill depth at other positions. And so I like this move only because it kind of clears up the running back position. We don't have to really talk about it anymore. We'll have to talk a little bit about wide receiver, maybe a little bit about quarterback, but really now this staff can focus on what they need to focus on, and bummed about the Karius Kern thing, honestly.
Yeah, now you have 5 running backs in there, and I think a lot of people forget about Cam Settles. I do it every once in a while, but you have 5 guys there, counting TJ Hodges. You're going to continue to look there, I think, but you've probably got your frontline guys that, and one of the good things is, some of these kids aren't going to be able to make it and be through spring practice, but this kid is. So, he gets the opportunity to do that. I think TJ will be here January 9th when 12 of the 17 signees that they got are reporting. Anytime you can get them in here, get them in the weight program, and get them through practice is going to be better than not.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that for sure. Let's get into a couple chats here, and we appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. Obviously, we'll be live again shortly for Inside Arkansas Live, but this worries me a little bit, Andrew. Our Prince of Positivity from the post-game shows from Inside Arkansas Live, John Pigman, says he's starting to not feel so positive anymore. Where are we at with that? And Dudley, I'm interested to get your perspective here because you're very much in the trenches with all this. And I think you understand the long game here. It's not that long of a game because you only have a 2-week window, and it's a little bit different now because guys got to get enrolled and getting here for the spring. So it's kind of on steroids, but with the portal open 4 days ago, where are you at in terms of how pleased are you with what Arkansas has done so far and maybe where this thing is trending if they're going to put together the type of team you hope they will?
Well, as I get older, I do less BSing. I don't think I did much anyway, but it's underwhelming so far. I mean, let's just be honest about it. And the Kern thing really, swung me a little bit to the other side. I think that, you've got to call it like you see it. When he came in here that first day and Monday and got those kids to flip, that was huge. That was collateral. That was maybe this guy can do something or this staff can do something. Now you've got, I think this is the 10th one out of the portal. You've also got the junior college defensive tackle, Fat Boy Wu, Antonio Sandal Bascom, who will be here Thursday. You've got those guys. You've got the ones that I said are coming in as high school. But it is still one of those situations that if you wanted to come in and hit a home run, you've not done it in the portal. You've not hit a triple. You maybe have stretched it into a double when you look at the, I think this last pickup helps them a lot, but you have a lot of needs you've got to go out and get. And as we've talked about, they're going to end up with 30 plus additions, and they've had 30 plus subtractions now.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of look at it from the standpoint of, like we were talking about earlier, you got to have the singles and doubles, and that's fine. So, these guys that they're getting, could they fill a role? Sure. But I'm anxious to see what the end result looks like here, because if they go out and they do take some swings and they wind up landing some big fish here at particular spots, then you could look at the rest of this and how we feel right now and go, oh, well, that was silly. This was part of the plan all along. But when you get to, several days into this, you've had so many guys on visits, you see what you have, you see who's come on the campus and wound up elsewhere. You've seen who you thought were the top targets or the priorities and what's going on there. And I think it's fair, at least at this point, to be a little bit skeptical, a little bit uneasy about where this is trending. Plenty of time for it to flip, but I'm kind of with you right now. It's a little bit underwhelming.
Well, not getting Hauser and not getting Kern has opened up millions of dollars to spend on somebody else. I mean, that's true. The way it is.
That's exactly where my mind was going. And now, obviously, we always have the conversation of, oh, does Arkansas have any money? Are they broke? Where are they going to stand in the SEC? And, we can all have our theories there. But I look at all these guys that they've brought in, and I don't think any of them are demanding humongous bags of NIL or anything, which, it may not excite you as a fan, but that tells me that Arkansas has something there to take big swings here. Now, where will those big swings come? Will they go on the D line? Will they be in the secondary? Will it be to get those two starters on the O line? I don't care, but it is important that you do take them. Like you guys said, you can do your singles and doubles, and that's all fine, but you kind of have to go out there and pony up to get some of these big guys that other schools are also after. And so what will it look like? I don't know, but I think there's some time left for them to make it work. But I agree with the sentiment of a little bit underwhelmed, a little bit disappointed so far, and they're definitely not reinventing the wheel or completely turning around the program overnight or anything like that. But I do think there's still room for them to make some moves, and like we said, I do think there's some big swings left in them. Where will they be? I'm hoping on the D line.
I think we muted you, Dudley.
We're getting it. They're getting it at special teams, is what I was saying. We see that, don't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're all over it.
One more kicker.
They're balls deep in special teams for sure. I got one more question.
Got a Bible verse this morning. He's kind of balancing things out.
Yeah, I know. Well, he probably felt bad about it. He guilted himself into that one. I don't blame him. But I've seen this sentiment from a few people now in the chats. I'm gonna bring up one, and I want to get your sense for it here, Dudley.
Pause. Everybody, shut up. We got breaking news. USC transfer defensive lineman Carlin Jones has committed to Arkansas.
There we go.
The Hogs have a defensive lineman, and it's not the one that just left campus the other day, or maybe this guy was on campus, but I was looking for that.
The one that just left campus, yeah. And they still have a shot at him, but yes, I've seen this guy's name out there. I haven't done a lot of research on him, but I'm going to do it right now.
Okay, what's his name again?
Carlin Jones, Carlon, Carlin Jones.
I wonder. I bet he knows a Madden or two out there.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that he's coming from a Power 4 school also.
and
honestly,
I like
we said,
6'3", 310 pounds. I like that.
Yeah, well, and with D-line, like we said, it's like, obviously you would love to have a guy that's got 9 sacks or whatever, but it's like, I just appreciate getting bodies in at that position. You're going to need a lot of them. And so I'm all in, even not knowing anything about Carlin Jones. I'm all in already. But I do have his PFF page pulled up here in just a second.
Yeah, as you're looking at that, I've got his stats and everything pulled up. He looks like he was a freshman this year.
True freshman, looks like, yeah.
True freshman, yeah. 4 tackles. It doesn't look like he played that much, but that's not necessarily indicative of anything, as we know in the trenches in a. Yeah. Well, I guess the Big Ten now. I'm still getting used to that. With
he's from
defensive lineman.
He's from Texas. They play good football down there.
Yeah, looks like he played 61 snaps as a true freshman. Which, as we've always known, as a true freshman in the trenches, if you're even considered for playing time at all, we'll take that. And so, this is a body that you throw in there. I'm assuming they must have had some type of familiarity with him before when he was a recruit, and so I like it. And again, beggars can't be choosers. Arkansas simply needed another defensive tackle, just because we literally can't even name 3 on the roster. Period. And so, getting another body in there, nice. That's a good enough start for me. I'm just glad to see something addressed, because that was the most disappointing part of this opening stretch of the portal, is like their biggest needs I don't feel like they've addressed at all until now.
Yeah.
Kevin Oates, I guess, is predicted to go to Ole Miss now. So that's interesting.
That is interesting.
It's like the coach changes, but nothing changes in terms of of all of Arkansas's guys going over there. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm with you on that, Andrew. I mean, they obviously need all the depth that they can get. You would hope we talk about making splashes and, spending big money, in the trenches there on the defensive line is a place that I would like to see them do it. They've still got work to do there, but certainly getting a big body in there from the state of Texas, a coveted recruit, and then somebody who's, been doing it over at USC. You absolutely take that, given the state of affairs over there on the defensive line right now, for sure.
I guess 24/7 doesn't have a transfer rating for him just yet. But for his high school rating, which was 1 year ago, he was the number 216 overall player in the country, number 31 D lineman, 92 4-star. And then the 24/7 Sports Composite was also a 4-star, number 246 nationally. I don't know what his transfer rating is. I'm sure On3 or somebody else has a rating for him, and I don't imagine he's going to be ranked like crazy high, but was a very, very highly regarded recruit. And some of his offers, by the way, Nebraska, Oklahoma State, TCU, UTSA, Jeff Traylor, they were in that mix.
Why not?
What a weird group to have there. And then, of course, ended up going to
looked like he was going to play in the Big 12 one way or the other there, didn't
it? Yeah, it's interesting, man. All right. Well, do we need to wait for 30 seconds and see if anybody else commits while we're live, or do we think we're good here?
I don't know, and I hope. I mean, listen, if they can do it in 20 minutes, we can just talk about them on Inside Arkansas Live. But no, I think we're all good. I think this is a productive morning for the portal. Neither of these guys are going to completely change the program, but address some questions that I think we had of: are they going to get another running back? Yes, they are. Are they ever going to recruit anybody on the defensive line? Yes, they are. I think I'm good with that for this morning.
Is Carius Kern going to visit here? No.
Yeah, no, he's not.
You got never step in front of answer on that now. He didn't commit. He signed.
Yeah, exactly.
They locked him in a room and were like, "You're not leaving, buddy."
Yeah,
sign this paper.
They're calling him Portal Pete down there. Pete Golden calling him Portal Pete.
Must be nice. At any rate, we're out of here. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with us for a little bit. We'll obviously see you here shortly for Inside Arkansas Live. But for Dudley Dawson, Andrew Ellis, it's been Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas Recruiting. We'll see you guys next time something cool happens. Maybe today, maybe not, but whenever. We'll see you then.